Let's talk about self-love. Probably won't buy again, but I guess. What is self-love? Or of course loving self, but who is the self? Self-love to me is loving God, creator of all, the source of all things. It is devotion. It is a consistent action. And I feel like you really can't love what you don't know. And that's the thing about self-love. You can't love what you don't know. If you don't know yourself, how can you love yourself? And everybody has this woo-woo definition of self-love. Oh, self-love is bubble baths and da-da-da-da. That's, nice. Very nice. But real self-love is really knowing yourself, loving yourself when you're not showing up fully, and love yourself when you are. Ways to get to know yourself, to enhance or cultivate self-love. So that can be simply like taking yourself on a date. You just spend your whole day doing only what you like, whether that's rolling out of bed at 11, that's going to see a movie that you really like, that you gonna laugh at, you kikiing the whole day by yourself, eating food that feels good to you, even if you are on like a diet or a strict, eating regimen. Sometimes you just want to, have a day, and you have that day, and you really get to just see like who you are. And also, if you stick to your diet, that's cool. But you get to really just do things that you like. Get familiar with source, however you connect with source. So meditating, expanding your ideas of source or God, if you're Christian, if you're Muslim, if you're just, on a spiritual journey, really getting in tune with that which has created you. Ask around, ask your community, ask your friends, your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, partner. Ask them, what are your best qualities, in their opinion. Now, take that with a grain of salt, because it does not mean you need validation from them, but sometimes it can be beneficial for someone to hold that mirror up to you so that you can see yourself clearly. Because just be honest, sometimes we don't see ourselves clearly. I know people like to think, oh, you only need to be validated by yourself. Yes, however, that is why we have community. We have community to reinforce and to hold a mirror up to who we are and our destiny. So there may be some things about you that you don't even realize are a great asset or that make you great, but your community can tell you. Like your friends can be like, you know what, you are really good at this, or you're really good at this. If you don't have friends that do that, cut them out. Gotta go. If you do, ask your elders, ask your children, what do you like about mom? And just ask them questions like that. And that can kind of give you a better look sometime when you're dealing with self-doubt, or you're dealing with, just lack of clarity in what you bring to the table. And we all have that moment, Yes, it's one thing to be self-validated, but it's another to be community validated, and that is okay. Get to know who you are in your community, what you bring to the table. That's another way to get to know yourself and to love yourself. Because once they tell you all that, you can kind of see it and implement it for yourself. Like, okay, I'm a great teacher. What can I teach myself? Okay, I'm a really caring person. How can I be more caring to myself? How can I be more compassionate for myself? Getting to know yourself, knowledge yourself, especially like knowing your history, knowing where you come from, your family story. Really getting into that, because that also holds up a mirror and lets you know about your destiny a lot of time, that you know what you're here to do. And we've gotten away from that in the Western world, going back, the whole idea of Sankofa. There are reasons why things are the way they are, and there's reasons why you have certain triggers. There's reasons why you have certain shadows. And a lot of time it has nothing to do with what you did this lifetime. It can be past life experiences, generations ago, your grandmother, you know. So sometimes looking back at your family history and the focus on the blessings, the great things that they brought into it. I know we're so focused on breaking generational curses, but looking into, you know, the gifts that they had, that sometimes will tell you about you, the things that you're naturally inclined to. Asking people around, like, what do you remember about me being a kid? You know, what do you remember? How was I as a kid? And asking those questions, you get to know yourself, you know. So then you put all that together and you're like, wow, I think I'm great. Pretty fucking great. Like, I'm that girl. I really am. You can't love what you don't know. Period. So, you know, get real comfortable with you. You know, learn about your shadows and decide to love yourself anyway. Nobody can really argue with that. And if they do, they really fighting a lost cause. Because the truth be told, you gonna be who you gonna be. We can improve ourselves, absolutely. But there's more to us than just this lifetime and just this moment. So just always keep it in perspective. Don't be so hard on yourself. One day at a time, bit by bit. That's how you eat an elephant. And it's a practice. So yeah. So I hope that helps someone. Tips for self-love.